Manus, definitely up there with the most annoying routes and the most dangerous fights in the challenge. The route has one specific part that's very, very precise and really decides about the fate of the run, or at least the attempt. And the fight it's definitely one of the most dangerous ones, simply because the chance of dying is really high, and that is because of Manus's magic, his dark bead attack in particular. That can just completely screw you up, and it does. But first let's talk about the route a bit. So the route, after all those attempts and all those fails, I still know my step order that really burned itself into my brain. And this is yeah, there we go. That part is the tricky part. So the last bit of movement there is around 5 steps diagonally, a little more typically, because the thing is, after the 5 steps I have to stop and then get onto this bridge, this collapsed pillar, whatever it is. Because the character, if you just keep moving, the character most of the time will just fail to get up there, and then I have to stop, and if I stop and then do another bit of movement, about 1 step, then I will be on top of it. And it took me a while to figure that out. I probably failed like 2 million times without actually realizing that, and sometimes it works in other ways. Sometimes I'm just a little bit off and then the movement is different, but overall that's the strategy there. Then I'm down here, and this is mostly quite simple. Here I'm doing 20 steps straight on ahead. Now I stop, drink a bit because I have a lot of Estus. Now 3 steps diagonally, and now I should do 3 steps towards the camera, and then 3 steps straight on, and the last thing to do then is diagonal movement, and I should land right in front of the fog gate. 1, 2, 3. That was actually a little more than necessary. 4, 5, 6. 6. There we go. I stopped at 5, and then, yeah, I mean the 5 probably would have been fine too. But I've memorized 6 steps diagonally, and that should get me on the right path, and then I just need to walk into the fog gate. And I'm saying just, but this is, yeah, no doubt that this is the area where I have died the most, together with Bed of Chaos and Four Kings, all the worst areas. There's just so much potential for failing. You can fall in many different places, and it's all a clutch. It's really, as you saw there, I mean, I was I was just about to fall, pretty much. But here it works out finally, and there's Manus, and this is certainly one of the longest fights, and one of the most dangerous ones. Again, I do have Power Within still equipped, and it's always a valid option to use. It really just comes down to whether I want to be defensive or aggressive. Since Manus has so much HP and I'm so scared at this point, I'd rather play defensively. And so what you might notice about my equipment is I am not in Havel's armor, and I don't have a helm, and that is because with Havel's shield I can't really equip anything else. Stone armor without any headgear that is as heavy as I can get without being completely overburdened. And I need Havel's shield. I need it. It is mandatory. And that is because, again, I mentioned it at the beginning, because of the Dark Bead attack. Uh, the other magic attacks of Manus aren't very dangerous. Yeah, this one you can see right here, the whatever it is, the rain. Um, that doesn't really do much typically, and the Dark Beat though is the dangerous one because I can't really avoid it. By the time I hear it, it's too late. Rolling is not really an option, and so I just have to tank it. And if I don't use Helmet Shield, and you will see that in the failed compilation, I tried it a few times with a different shield and just more armor to make up for that. Doesn't work. You need the 90% magic block on Helmet Shield. Without that, you just die. One Dark Beat attack and you will see that even with Havel's Shield. It's it gets close. And of course you can get lucky and he never does it. But I've also gotten very unlucky and he does nothing else. He just, the fight starts and then, hello, Dark Beat. You're almost dead. You know what? Second Dark Beat. Rain. Quite the inconsistent weather in this arena. And pretty straightforward fight aside from the constant danger of him doing magic. His physical attacks aren't dangerous at all, thanks to my shield. And I just wait for him to miss me, or I just decide that it's a good idea to attack now. And I just stay alive. I have a lot of Estus, so it's really not difficult aside from the fact that his magic can completely destroy me. And yes, of course he does have his one super jump attack, there we go, Dark Beat. And I had almost full stamina and Havel's Shield. And then he follows up with the next magic attack, which typically isn't dangerous because I circle diagonally to the right, and that means typically I'm so close to him that attack won't hit me, but it can. And so yeah, a little annoying about him is of course a super jump, which cancels my lock on. So I always, there we go, I have to wait a bit, and then lock on again. And I have to make sure I know what I'm doing. And yeah, second Dark Beat, I'm almost dead. Just like that. Even though I block it, it just drains my stamina, and then I can't fully avoid the damage. A little bit of overthinking there. This attack can also be annoying if my stamina is low. Wait, come on. Okay, playing very safe. Okay. And he's dead, there we go. Yeah, and that was yet again... Oh, that's where I got the Channeler's helm. That's going to be very useful. And some transient curses. Excellent. Yeah, that's Manus. A real challenge, both in ways of finding the path to him and fighting him. Definitely one of the hardest parts, and I'm really glad that's over.